It's definitely going to be toasty, and it feels like we're just going to have more of this heat and humidity all the way into next week as well.
And that's what makes it so bad, is the humidity added on top of the heat.
Yeah, so like today just felt so humid outside. I think we might get a little humidity improvement getting into next week, but the temperatures, it's staying warm well into next week. So let's talk a little bit about the humidity. So we measure moisture in the atmosphere through what we call dew point. So this is the dew point temperature. If you see anything in the mid 60s, that's generally pretty humid. But you also have to factor in kind of the air temperature at the moment. So obviously during the overnight hours when it's cool, you may not notice the humidity outside. But essentially the way I want you to view this map is wherever you see color, that's where you might be noticing some of that humidity. So by 7 o'clock in the morning, we're already starting to notice some of that across parts of our inland spots like the IE, around some of our valley locations as well. Then everybody gets a little sense of that humidity going through the day. So by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you see a lot of this yellow and orange coloring. That indicates humid or even muggy conditions, especially as you get closer to the coastline. But I want you to see what it looks like for Sunday. So overnight hours, all that goes away. But by the time we get into Sunday afternoon, we're looking at quite a bit of muggy conditions across Ventura County. We're seeing it along some of our coastal areas down into Orange County. But as you get farther and farther inland, you actually may notice less and less of that humidity. And that's because we are starting to see a little bit of a shift in the overall pattern that will decrease the amount of monsoonal moisture coming into the region and relieve us some of the humidity. Unfortunately, the temperatures won't be changing all that much. So for tomorrow, expect another hot day. For the high desert, we're looking at temperatures 105 to 110, depending on location. Lancaster right around 104, although you add that humidity, it might feel a little bit warmer. Mid 80s for Big Bear, upper 80s for Wrightwood for tomorrow. Across the Inland Empire, expect temperatures to be in the low 100s with 102 around Riverside, 102 in Moreno Valley, 102 in Lake Elsinore, and 99 degrees in Ontario. For Orange County, the inland temperatures will remain warm. We're talking about mid to upper 80s with 89 degrees around Anaheim, 88 in Mission Viejo, upper 70s and low 80s along the OC coast. For the valleys of LA and Ventura counties, another hot day with 95 degrees in Simi Valley, 101 in Santa Clarita, 98 degrees in Van Nuys, 99 in Northridge. A quick reminder, with the humidity, just add a couple degrees on here, and that's how it's going to feel outside. And across the basin and the San Gabriel Valley, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s to the low 90s with 90 in downtown LA, 80 in Manhattan Beach, 82 degrees in Torrance, 96 in West Covina, and 97 degrees in Pomona. And again, we'll have the humidity in the air, so it'll probably feel a little bit warmer than what you just saw there on the map. So the LA Basin forecast is on top, the coastal forecast on the bottom, and the main thing you'll notice here is that we really don't see temperatures change all that much. We're looking at the upper 80s and the low 90s through the weekend. But as we get into next week, maybe a degree of cooling. That's it. We're staying in the upper 80s to low 90s, although it looks like it's the Monday through about Wednesday timeframe where the humidity might come down a little bit, but it might make a return as we get into the second half of next week and get toward next weekend, which, by the way, may have another warming trend in it. So we may be looking at temperatures getting even warmer by the end of next week. For the coastal areas, upper 70s and low 80s for the next few days, not looking at any widespread low cloud cover. Here's how it looks. The valleys on top, IE forecast down below, upper 90s and the low 100s over the weekend, only slightly cooler for next week, bouncing around in the mid to upper 90s with some low 100s mixed in. And again, by the second half of next week, we might be on another warming trend, eventually getting us all back into the triple digits across the inland spots by next weekend. Here's how it looks. The high desert on top, low desert forecast down below. This is the best example, I think, across the region. I'm not really seeing any change coming our way. For the high desert, 104 tomorrow, only a degree cooler for Sunday, same for Monday. We stay around 102 at the coolest, so it's just going to be hot all the way into next week. And same for the mountains. We've got temperatures in the mid 80s for tomorrow, low 80s by Sunday, but we stay in the mid to upper 80s all the way into next week.